Welcome to Origin Stories. I'm RD.
I'm Parrott.
We're telling stories behind the digital art revolution.
Each week we interview top artists
and live stream with the community.
Let's go. Today is tomorrow's origin story.
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey.
What's happening?
What's up, everybody? How are we doing on this lovely Thursday?
Good, man. It's been a pretty grey day, but Artifacts brightens up my day.
Bringing some sun tonight. You're pulling a late one over there.
Yeah, I think midnight, I think is the launch for us. So yeah, late one.
Yeah, 5-hour difference. I know Snail Express was commenting on the same thing earlier. He said he gets to stay up late for the Defaced release.
Yeah, man, I'm not a late. Some people are night people. Some people are doing art at night time and working all hours, but fucking never been able to do that, man. Can't do it. Not me.
Did you catch a nap today?
Yeah, I got an hour. I was like, got to get a solid hour in, power nap, then we're going strong.
Let's go. Parrott, how about you, man? What's up?
Doing good in LA right now. Feeling great today. My sleep schedule has been good lately. For once, been getting up at like 8, 9 a.m. every morning and eating breakfast and everything. So we're doing good. Feeling good. Excited to talk with you guys today. It's a big day for Artifacts and Defaced. Would you like to talk about what's going on tonight?
Yeah, I'll talk real briefly and then I'll pass it over to Defaced. But essentially, this is the beginning of Wave 3 of the Artifacts project. It's entitled The Future. And Defaced, I think, is an amazing representation of that. Someone who has been on this show many times, who's been pushing really, really hard in the space, pushing boundaries in the space. I've always respected that mindset where you're so consistent with your art and just posting it every day. And I think we've all seen it and we all appreciate it. And we're all like, wow, Defaced is just exceptional at what he does. But on the other side, what people may not know is just, I don't know, how sharp you are. You always impress me with how aggressive you are, but in a smart way, just smart, aggressive, always pushing, always walking forward, always eyes on something, maybe grander or bigger than many other focus on, which again, I appreciate it. I'm going to stop talking, man. What do you want to say?
Yeah, man, it's been exciting. I feel like it's been so long since I made that artwork and it was up in New York. I think that was up on my birthday. I think it was the 6th of May, man. So that was such a good day, such a good few days, and getting the pictures through when the dude took them and edited them, and I got them through, and that's just such a cool couple of days, and seeing everybody's response to the artwork being out in the world, and that's such like a big day for me, just like sort of for my own validation as well. Like, this is when you tell someone, oh yeah, I've had my artwork up in New York, that's like it's like such a big accomplishment. Like it's insane. So just like sort of that being the entry to like the Artifacts project, like the first thing people have seen with the artwork's been mental. Then yeah, over the last few days I've been putting together a few teasers and showing people the artwork, and Dirt got done with the sculptures and it all looks so good, man. I'm so happy with it. But yeah, the piece itself was I tend to feel like I'm stuck in my head quite a lot and just stuck in my work, and I sort of want to reflect that with me literally sort of filling in for Starman almost, with literally being in the character myself and having more similar features. And yeah, the name blew me. I think it was just sort of the file was called 2D Me. I was like, it's going to be a self-portrait, it's just 2D Me. So I've sort of had that saved on there for months, and Blue Me just sort of come from the suit color as the blue. I sort of rocked the blue for a while with my branding. So yeah, we got it there. Yeah, looks fucking pretty good, man. But
pretty good, man.
I'm happy with it. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head now, man. But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess real quick for the people who don't know, and then Parrott, definitely want your perspective, because the people who have been paying attention know that you may have a say in a project. But real quick, the way the Artifacts project is designed, there's a one-of-one original artwork, and that's what Defaced was just talking about, which is Blue Me. It's set with a 5 ETH reserve, so it kicks off, a 24-hour countdown kicks off as soon as someone meets that. And then the goal is to make the 3D sculptures more accessible. So we set those prices, at a level that hopefully people can get involved, and that's 0.1 ETH. That's a 3D sculpture that we have visions to make metaverse compatible. But for right now, you can connect your wallet to the site. And if you own one of those sculptures, you can visit your collection. You can download the 3D GLB file right away. You can download the MP4 right away, and just get to the goodie bag in time for this wave, custom alternate view avatars. So in case you are a Defaced fan and you want to rock one of those, we got it for you in your goodie bag. And again, that's something that will expand with the sculptures as this project goes phase by phase.
Yeah, it looks great. I think that the price is so accessible, especially for an edition of 1 out of 100. I mean, that's honestly, excuse me, a steal. And the art itself as well, it's just, in my opinion, classic Defaced art, where it incorporates, everything I enjoy about your art, man. It has Starman, it has the pastel colors, and it's I don't know. It's good, dude. It's really good.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I always appreciate it. But yeah, I like this piece. I've sort of played about with a similar composition, and it just feels so second nature to me when I sort of make stuff with the sort of hill and the character on top. And I played about with the sort of outlines in the background as well, just to sort of blend. I think Roger picked up on that when I first sent it to you. You were like, yeah, I like the outlines in the background as well. I think it sort of gives it a sort of sketchiness as well. Like sometimes I feel like my work is too clean. Like that's why I played about messier styles and paint and stuff, just to sort of get myself out of that very rigid, like linear geometric sort of flow I get into. But yeah, just been playing about. That's like when I sort of was in the groove of playing about with that sort of style as well. So that piece came so easily to me. And the pose, the pose as well is my dad loves a sculpture. I think it's called the Boxer. I think it's a Greek sculpture called the Boxer, and it's the same pose with him looking over his shoulder with his hands together. So that's a sort of reference to my dad in that piece as well. Yeah, so I think the sort of with NFTs as well, it sort of represents a big shift. We also have like the NFTs representing the future. We also have to look back, I think, sometimes to the old art world and reference that in our art, and pay homage to all the old crafts. And for the Star Maker project, I'm working with like bronze people who work with bronze like regularly, and sort of old craftsmen, because it's a dying art form. And I think with new money and NFTs, we should reinvest not just in the community itself, but into other people who work in different arts which are dying out. So yeah.
Awesome. Agreed with that, dude. I think that's a really admirable take you have. And I remember seeing those bronze sculptures that you were working with a while ago. And has there been an update on those yet?
Yeah, it's all good, man. I got a coin made as well. Let me see.
Okay.
The Stardad coin. So this is
this
is bronze. So
wow.
yeah, so that'd be with the drop as well, but just sorting out manufacturing stuff. But yeah, it's been cool as fuck, really, just to make all this stuff, and work on like a helmet as well. That's in development. So yeah, we're just working with everyone really. And I think I do think it's important to keep funding all these other art forms and sort of bring them into the NFT space and show them how it's done, and and show them how they can do it as well. And there's room for everyone. So yeah, man, it's cool.
Awesome. We got some comments we should catch up on too. CG Doria says, let's go. Allison Joyful says, hi. Victor Mascara says, when Vancouver, Roger? When?
September, Victor. September, I'm coming.
Compulsive V says, and then everyone's digging the coin as well and the art.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We got this dude as well. Just
whoa! How is it gonna we haven't even gotten to your puppet, and then you just pull out another dude. You got the coin.
No more.
You're building a whole arsenal over there.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I have to say, I feel really what timing. I feel very grateful, Defaced, to have this moment with you in the Artifacts project. Because if you think about it, you've been pushing so hard and building people up to these dramatic releases that you'll have in another bit of time here. And we sort of find ourselves at this really interesting juncture, right? Like you're building towards that, and then now we like have a chance to connect for this release today. And you haven't released new work for quite some time. And yeah, I remember sharing some alpha a week or two ago, and someone was able to snatch like a Defaced off the secondary market, right? But like, it's not common. It's not common, and you're doing all, in my opinion, in my admittedly biased opinion, you're doing all the right things, like just taking these strides forward. So anyway, just want to say personally, and from the project perspective, like I'm grateful we collide here. Like we collide in this moment. I think 3-6 months from now, people look back, people are gonna be like, oh shit, Defaced. Like for anyone who's not already saying that, I think that the rest of people will be saying that in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think, I appreciate that, Roger. But I think, I just this is all building towards something, and I think it's sort of in my head. This sort of mirrors you buying that Starman piece on Maker's Place that time ago. That sort of connection there. So I feel like this is a much grander version of that event. To fast forward to this much bigger stage, a much bigger platform that we have, and much bigger goals. So I think I just envision that's where I sort of parallel the two in my head. But it's cool as fuck. I couldn't think of a better way to sort of get back into the groove with this one-of-one, and you, Roger, as well, and the advice you're giving me. And I don't think I've minted since March on Foundation. So like I've had collabs and stuff like that, but nothing like a one-on-one from me. So this will be my first one since March. But the floor. I was talking to you about it. Like the floor has gone up like fucking crazy. I think it was like at 3 ETH, then Loopify's one's at 11.1 or something. So it's just like as soon as that's gone off, it's just shot up. So it's hard to get my work. And
that 3 ETH is gone. That's no more.
Yeah, it's gone.
You know, it's not even available.
Yeah, so that's nice. I never talked to you about worrying over minting, and I just sort of just took myself off the grid, just worked, and we're here. I think this will be sort of I think if people catch this drop, there'll be then we're going up. We're just going straight up from here, really, with the Star Maker stuff on Super Rare. So that'll be like the big stamp, really. Like I still don't feel like I've even dropped like a piece of art in my head. Like I don't feel like I've even touched the NFT space. It must be quite weird because I obviously have artwork out there, but I don't feel like I've done anything. Like I feel like I'm starting like just starting off like as a new artist pretty much. And I feel like this will be like a sort of bounce pad into the Star Maker stuff, really. And this will be like a good accessible point for people for when we go into the one-of-ones, and then that might not happen for a little while. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. In the comments, Cole meta as fuck, and then Carson, I miss you too. Soon. What up? So all right, let's take a quick pivot because we tried to cover the whole space. So I'd love to get everyone's perspectives. Something that I found myself, I didn't know if I would get obsessed with it. I got obsessed with it, went down the rabbit hole, which was the Nifty Gateway SummerSlam. I think they did a really, really nice job. They've taken some heat in the past for different decisions that they've made. And I have to say, from top to bottom, releasing that new marketplace in the manner they did and pairing it with the SummerSlam promotion, I think that's one of the best things to come out of that camp in quite some time. So I just want to take my hat off to them today. Got my attention. I think got a lot of people's attention. I think they did almost $7 million in secondary sales in essentially 48 hours.
Yeah, the new website and interface looks so nice and clean.
Yeah, really nice. Makes it so much easier to interact with an artist. Like if I wanted to go there and snatch up some Parrottisms, being able to type you into the search box, have it react right away, hit your name, and then it just shows you very, very easily and cleanly all of the additions that you've produced and the floors right away. Like what is the lowest list here. So again, can't say enough nice things about what they pulled off there.
Yeah, hats off to them.
And I also got in quite a dogfight to maintain the too much lag level. Like, did you guys see all the reward tiers that they did?
Yeah.
It was chaos until the last minute. I had to put two purchases through in the last 10 minutes to stay to stay in my range. But unfortunately, I got it. I got the second tier. Yeah, the diamond hands tier. But missed out on the top. That was the fuck render tier was tier 1. That was out of my reach.
Yeah, that sounds very competitive.
But Defaced, you check that at all? Check that out at all?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't looked at anything in a little while. I've just been busy.
You've just been working, man.
I don't know which way's up, really. I just have so much shit going on. It's like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm designing this, I'm working on that. It's just like, I have 2 minutes, I'll watch fucking Netflix or something. Like, I just NFTs, fucking marketplace, just it fry your brain as well. But yeah, just been busy, just been fucking working my ass off, really. So yeah, that's good. What it is. It's the price you pay, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. It's a good excuse.
Yeah, man.
Can we talk about a few things that have caught our eyes recently? Because I got a few top of mind. Give you a little. It's going to be in the RD report on Monday, but I can't hold it. I got to talk about it now. You know what's been on my mind a lot recently? It's been collaborations. Collaborations have been on my mind, and specifically, it's like when you look at a collaboration. On one hand, you're relying on 2 people or 3 people or 4 people or whoever's in the collaboration. So, some people might view that as like, oh, that's not so great. But on the other side of it, you have these really unique collisions that sometimes are never revisited again in quite that same manner. And so I've just been thinking a lot about that. And a couple that I gravitated to recently, unfortunately, I finished second in this first one. But this is what got me thinking about that more and more. And that was Fuckrender, Blake Catherine, and Jason Abayer all came together on the H+ creative drop. That's sort of like surprise. It was a very last minute announcement. It was like, oh shit, these 3 people are coming together. That's incredible. Sharik 911, congratulations. You beat me out on that one. But then I started thinking more and more. And the 2 other collaborations that I got absolutely carried away with, infatuated with, I believe in them full scale. I believe in their long term. Thank you, X and Philip Otis.
Yep, great one.
Decade Decay. I thought that was one of those collaborations that you look at. I looked at and I said, I see both artists. I think this is a high effort collaboration. I really think both they brought it, and I love Philip Otis's dystopian style, and the fact that they did it in that style and came together in sort of that world that he's created was exceptional to me. So like I had to go all in on that. And again, that's something that I'm just like so thrilled with. The other one that it's 119 edition run, so there's a bunch out there, but I definitely scooped a couple. Sky Golpe and Hackatow. This had happened during like the bear to the bull. It was during that market downturn where everyone was kind of like taking a bit of a step back. They did well. They did better than you might have expected during that market downturn, but it still didn't. It wasn't one of those like it crushed the world and like I still feel like it got respect, but maybe not as much as it could have or should have. And I found myself looking back, and I was just stunned, shocked at there was one specific one. It's called In. How little that had appreciated since it's and I just was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And then just went in from there. And I think some other people were having the same thoughts at the same time. It's appreciated a bunch since, but still probably not to the level that if you think about those artists, like Hackatow and Sky Golpe, and I call it the summer of Sky Golpe, like where Sky Golpe is headed is unbelievable right now. And to think like, as he's taking those steps to ascend, his own throne, Hackatow Sky Golpe is a legit amazing collaboration. So anyway, definitely. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about collaborations? Those artists I've mentioned, maybe some other stuff that comes to mind.
Do you want to go, Parrott? All right. Well, yeah. I think both of those collaborations are A tier. I'll speak on the Philip Otis and Thank You X collaboration. What I really liked about that is Ryan Thank You X's ability to collaborate with someone in a different medium than he usually does, and we've seen that in the past with his collaborations with Jay and Silva. And once again, I think he knocked it out of the park and, found a way to imprint his style, his signature, and his expression through a different medium. And then from Philip's end, same thing, being able to take his like dystopian style and bring in Ryan's like abstract colors and shapes and themes and all that different creative language that he used. I think came together very harmoniously, and each piece that I saw, I was like, yes, this is cool. Yes, this is cool. Yes, this is cool. And at the end of the day, when you have a collaboration, that's really the end goal. Is both artist styles are like instantly recognizable in it, and then B, they're not fighting for room, but they're like having a conversation in the piece. And I think they pulled it off really, really, really well. I entered the drawing, but unfortunately did not win. Maybe I'll find something on the secondary if I'm not priced out. And Sky Goldbay and Hackatow, two, in my mind, legendary artists in this space. Sky Goldbay on like a crazy upswing right now, then Hackatow just being, OG in the space. So to see that collaboration, and I'd say the same thing. It's a very it's like a conversation between the two styles, and that's what I love to see. I wish I found out about that before everyone else did. And then just collaborations as a whole, though, I think that's one of the coolest things about NFTs in this space, and it's something that I hope platforms in the future will take into account a little bit more, because I still think that a lot of platforms is when you collaborate with someone, it's not the easiest thing to split payments, and maybe it's just because it's on Ethereum and it has to come from one wallet that the artist minted on for right now. But I would love to see platforms step their game up a little bit more to include collaborations, because I think that's one of the most exciting parts about this, is that everyone wants to collab, is able to collab, because it's all digital. And it's just like, I see it so much in the music world, where two artists who have, either similar fan bases or different fan bases, maybe they're in the same record label or different record labels, but they collaborate together, something magic happens, and then both of the artists involved in that increase their overall reach, fan base, and in this case, collector base. And it's a way for artists to validate each other. And in my mind, it's almost all positive. I've seen some clunky collaborations before, but it's still like
no
cool
comments.
They're hard. They're hard to do well, because you've got to mesh two languages. I've had plenty of ones that are just fallen through because it's just hard. It's like speaking two languages and you've got to make sense of each other. And
exactly.
I think about collaborations a lot, because it's like you have two colliding paths and they meet for a split second and they continue, and I think that's amazing. And I think you capture the period of time as well. And my friend sent me a song I didn't know existed. It was the Jackson 5, and who the fuck was it? Jackson 5, and it was originally meant to be Freddie Mercury on there, like as a collaboration. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? But there's so many like different combinations of people you wouldn't have even thought would have existed, and there's so many. And when you talk about music, Parrott, I think about like cover art and music, and I think that's one I'd like to see more, and like multimedia collaborations, because you can fill in each other's holes, or like give a voice to something which didn't have a voice, or give a visual side something which doesn't have a world, and you can world build something more thorough through your different senses as well, through different and if we have galleries and stuff, like you can imagine like being in somewhere and your senses. But as well, to go back to the contracts as well, I'm collaborating with people for this next project, and I want to do like, so say there's like 4 people on my project, I want everyone to have a different percentage. So like I'd love to be able to do that with the smart contract, and for them not to have to rely on me or to have to rely on someone else to pay you, because people are human and fuck up, or just you hear about horror stories of people not getting paid, and the smart contract could just sort that out quickly. But I really like collaborations. I think there's a lot of opportunity there as well, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happened. It'll be interesting to see. So many people are talking about working with brands and companies as well. So that'll be another. We have artists and artists. We have like multimedia artists. Then we have brand collaborations as well. And I still don't think I think there's probably been a couple, but a really good brand collaboration where the brand's resources have been used really fucking well and they've been given enough room to work. I don't feel like that's been done yet because I don't think people have the confidence in artists and NFTs yet. So yeah, I think that's one I'm interested in as well, because like as an artist you may not have the resources to go just make a jacket. Like you have to source stuff and there's that whole process, but if you have people who can sort of almost talk you through it and like help you, and I think that's where my mind goes as well.
Isn't it amazing how we've seen so much happen in such a short period of time, and yet, to your point, Defaced, there's so much that's still untapped. There's so much that can still be done. Right. Too much. I know that, and you're on the tip of the spear, man. You're doing it. I mean, what else do you have over there, by the way? You showed us the coin, you showed us the stuffed animal. You have your Starman puppet in the background.
Well, I've actually put a load of it in. My mum has a room in the garden where she works, and I've put a load in her room to just be safe because it's all one-on-one. I don't want anyone to fucking touch it. I don't want the dogs to touch it. I don't want anyone to get fingerprints and anything. So it's all being like preserved. I wish I had like a vault just to fucking like put everything in, so it's just untouched. But yeah, I've only seen like some of it like a couple of times just because I'm too scared to fucking touch it. Like the book, I don't want to fucking rip it or anything. So I've only looked through it like twice. I'm like, that's enough. Put it away.
Yeah. I'm downright terrified I'm going to get just completely, and I probably am, I'm just going to get completely priced out of Defaced. When you do the full out reveal of what's coming, I have a hunch it's going to get away.
Man, well, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I hope it does well. You never know, do you? But yeah, it's been good this week. I've got the game through, so I've been playing that. I've been trying to complete it, but me and my friend, I've been doing like play tests and sending it through. My dad's been playing it as well. So there's only going to be a few people who have played the game. And then I think it'd be nice to give the collective the decision to release the file publicly or keep it to themselves. I quite like the idea because I remember Wu-Tang Clan, they have an album which hasn't been released publicly, and that's kept in a vault for years. Then someone bought it, but he went to prison for like fraud. So then it's back. The US have now auctioned it off. So I don't know who's got it now, but they can either release it or keep it to themselves. So I quite like that dynamic as well. So yeah, it'll be, people ask me if they could play the game, but it's up to whoever wins it ultimately.
I hope they do release it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Like that power of, you know, that rights to the aspect to an aspect of a release. Such a crazy concept to me. It brings to mind the Micah Johnson Christie's artwork, where the buyer got the decision, makes the decision as to whether to reveal the new character's identity or to keep the helmet on the character, and also to name the character. That to me is, it's really, it's creative. It puts a lot of power in the hands of the collector. I think it's really interesting. So to hear that you're considering, you know, tangential decisions, like other decisions unique to your release, but still that speaks to me. Speaking of things being untapped, like people are starting to have those types of thought processes, those types of mechanics, and I think it adds to the artwork. Yeah,
I think the idea of choice as well that gets instilled in the artwork, and you're in choice of I always go back to thinking like about Keith Haring's pop-up shop, and when he released his, like, he started selling T-shirts of his art like really cheap, and no one done that for. And I was like, oh fuck, you can do that. Like, I love them sort of moments where people go, oh fuck, that's an option. Like, because a lot of it, like inventions and stuff, haven't ever been thought of until someone thinks of it, and you go, oh yeah, of course that was a thing. It's like, that wasn't a fucking thing. That wasn't a thing. Digital art wasn't a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, these things weren't there until someone decided to do it or went for it. So yeah, I think when people, I've seen where people give people decisions, and I think it's interesting. I'd like to see, like, I always just want to see more. I just want to see more development, more options, more choice, more. But I suppose that's just time. But I feel like I just want to see it now. Like, I just want to see everything now.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead,
I think that's one of the coolest things about NFTs as a whole is for so long art has just been, a one-way street where the consumer views the art, the creator creates the art, and it's worked for so long. But with smart contracts and with digital ownership, you're able to make it a two-way street to where either the viewer or the collector, depending on what you do with it, has the ability to make choices and interact with it and become part of the narrative, which is what drives so much value into it. I think I'm really excited to see how people will play on that and riff on that over the next few years as it becomes more of a familiar idea.
Yeah, I've seen Minecraft over the years have done a thing where they have like a new enemy or a new like mob, and they will do a vote. So they'll have 5, then people can go online and vote to see which one goes into the game. And I think that's a very mainstream version of that idea. But like as NFTs develop and artists do their thing, that the options will just expand, and you have something which is everyone will just be involved, and it'll be really, really cool. So yeah. Shit.
Also, another collector-artist relationship that's not as direct but still really powerful. Just capitalizing an artist. Just when there are certain sales made that puts ETH or dollars in an artist's pocket, and the artist wants to reinvest. And Defaced, I'm speaking directly to you. It's like you've made a decision to reinvest, right, in your like in Star Maker, in what you're doing and what you're going after. Brings to mind recently, huge congrats, by the way, to Slime Sunday for his Phillips auction. But that's a shining example as well, where he had this, I managed to like randomly be on a podcast, the That's Nifty podcast with him at a moment when he explained his idea to do cake fakes, to do the human face with a slice of cake taken out. And he expressed the desire to want to do that one day. And that he was capitalized to the point where he was able to take those dreams or take those ideas that were kicking around his head and go figure out a way to do it, invest in the process, and then that ends up at Phillips Auction House. I think that's wild. I think that's inspiring. And so again, big congrats to Slime Sunday. And then for the both of you and for so many more artists, like going through that process, reinvesting and coming out with more insanity in the future. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, I think that process will weed out artists with long-term vision as well, and real drive and hunger, and it almost acts as like a Patreon or something, like a Kickstarter, where you are investing in someone. You can see the results a month later. Oh, he's working on this, he's working on that, and you can see the direct input of your capital, then their results, and you'll see what happens. You'll see, obviously people have situations where bills have to be paid, people have to be looked after, but ultimately you'll see people who are pushing their projects forward, and I think time will tell, and cool shit will be made as more capital gets driven directly to the artist. And I was talking to someone about this as well, like DAOs are cool, but what if you have someone like Quentin Tarantino who wants to add more blood, and the group people want to take and censor it and take away the blood? It's like, well, I want more blood and I want to do my fucking thing, and that's tough shit. So like there's cases for everything, but I think ultimately, like if you have an artist, like giving them the money and let them execute, and you'll get and NFTs allow for that distinct vision to be expressed without an industry influencing it, or there's no fucking amendments, there's no fucking can you change this, can you change that, there's none of that shit. It's just, here's my fucking vision, execute through capital. So yeah, it'll be cool.
Odious says, yo.
Parrott, we're on the same wavelength, man. I was gonna do the Odious intro too. It's so fitting, like it's so fitting and fun to be here with all you guys and Odious as well, because it's just like the artists that are pushing it. It's I'm just taking my hat off to that right now. Like that's just, it's hitting me how important that is. How important that is to driving the whole space forward. So all you guys, congrats on what you're doing.
We're trying.
That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man. Where are you staying, Roger? You got a little cabin?
Yeah, this is Massachusetts, in the Berkshire Berkshire area, a lot of like very mountainous and lots of green trees and whatnot. So I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try like tomorrow into Saturday. I'm committed to taking as much time as possible.
Have you left that room?
To go to New York.
I've done more work on this vacation than I could have ever fathomed.
Oh.
But it's what I signed up for. So
yeah.
But I gotta balance it. Next 2 days, gotta spend a little bit of time with the family.
It is a weird one working for yourself because you think I'm going to be so much freer and you're working twice as much. And it's like, hold on, this isn't what I signed up for. But ultimately, it's because you can. I don't know. You can work towards what you. And that doesn't feel like work a lot of the time, and it's a weird dynamic. But I think that's where a lot of the world's going to be moving, especially in the creative industry. And I think coronavirus has revealed that to a lot of people that you don't need to fucking work in an office, and you might be working more, but you're doing something you fucking enjoy, and that's what it's about.
Yeah,
agreed. Defaced, did you know that you're in Odious' top 3?
Top 3 what?
Artists, people, I don't know.
Oh, that's very nice.
Defaced,
I'll take both.
He says Defaced in my top 3. He knows that.
I daren't open the chat because I feel like my Wi-Fi is going to go. I've got a sweet spot, so I'm like, I'm just going to not touch anything. Just fucking, yeah. Oh, yeah, I love Odious, man. Yeah, we'll set up a call this week, but he's so busy with his project, man, and he's a creative director now, so got to respect the hustle, man. He's doing well for himself. It's crazy.
And that dude's still coming into the chat here on Origin Stories, like part of the fam. It's got
20 Love him.
How does he do it all? No one knows.
No one knows.
Coffee.
Parrott, what you got cooking on the mind?
Oh man, I feel like today's pretty chill. I've been like so glued to Twitter and OpenSea and everything all week. It's just like another one of those weeks where everything was just going crazy, and there was like so much euphoria in the space from everybody. Everyone was like, whoa, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. Visa bought a CryptoPunk. Budweiser bought a Budweiser rocket, which I need to look more into that project. So I don't know exactly what that is or why they did that. But,
no idea. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. But they bought it. What else? Budweiser bought beer.eth, which I thought was cool.
Ooh.
I feel like that's, a little bit of foreshadowing, kind of like, 20 years ago when there was the websites and people were making crazy money flipping website domains. If you had like pizza.com, you could sell that to a pizza company for so much money. So I think that's interesting. And I think that might be one of the first examples of that happening now with Ethereum domains, which I think is cool. Collectible craze still going crazy. We had the On One Force, which just like blew up real quick. And to be fair, some of my favorite art for a collectible project, it reminds me a lot of the Gorillaz album art, which was like equal bits nostalgic and futuristic, cool stuff. Something about koalas, lots of different animals out there.
The zoo expands.
The zoo expands, man. A crazy X copy sale I think I saw. Sold my punk at 50 ETH and the floor just went right to 75 the next day. So whatever.
Can't win them all, mate.
Can't win them all.
I sold my.
Speaking of selling out at the bottom of the floor, crypto cubes. Also, the crypto cube is like 20-25 or something like that right now, which I knew was coming. I literally looked at my crypto cube that morning. I was like, oh, maybe I should delist this, and then got distracted and then sold. So
yeah, I got my floor cube sold. I had one listed and it got eaten up. I was I was at 17.1. I was well above floor, but it rushed. It got bum rushed. So
it sure did.
Dude, and during all of that,
Oops.
Okay.
I'm very happy to see that project do that though, because it's got so much history and involvement with the artists in the space, through the
Yeah.
Nifty drops, and it's I've always been bullish on that project, and it's cool to kind of see it get its heyday during this rush that's happening right now.
Special place in my heart, man. You know how bullish I was and remain on that project, and had the honor of being part of that initial team. And Odious says, not going to say I called it, but I called CryptoCube. Odious intuition for the win. You can just come right out and say it, Odious. One thing that I managed to do that I'm pretty jazzed about is, as that was popping off, I went hunting in the Nifty Gateway streets, and I found a lot of money, one of one, floating around there, and ended up snagging it, the one that he did for the first iteration of the CryptoCubes drop. So I was just kind of like thinking, it's kind of like I did with the CryptoPunk news. I didn't want to spend up for a punk at that time, but I ended up grabbing a bunch of V-bits. And like when the CryptoCube run up came, I just started like exploring like other ways to get involved, and was just surprised that a lot of money piece was out there for what it was out there for. And I couldn't even wait for SummerSlam. I was like, I can't stomach losing this. And so there you go.
Awesome. Yeah, there's some good deals out there on 101s right now still. And I think there won't be that many good deals for much longer, because I don't know if you saw, man, I'm spaced on who posted it the other day, but there's this great like chart infographic thing talking about
Batsuit.
Yes.
You got it.
Yep, it was. Thank you. Talk about how, the money goes from like these collectibles to generative art to 101s. And I think that was very cool. And I feel the electricity in the air. I see some big super rare sales starting to heat up. Super rare just passed 100 million in sales today, I believe, which is crazy. I remember when they did like 1 million. So yeah, it's heating up, and as an artist who does 101s, I do like that, and collects 101s as well.
Oh shit!
And I'm of the mind too, because I use that in my report on Monday, because I love that chart. Yep. I love that you mentioned that. I personally feel that bottom category is just art, like fine art, like digital fine art. I think it can be additions. So we're starting to see one of ones fractionalized anyway. And if one of ones are being fractionalized, and I think that's going to become more and more popular, you look at valuable editions. Like, for example, the collab I was talking about, like the Sky Golpe Hackatow, it's 119 editions, but there's no doubt in my mind that that's going to be wildly valuable. Like the Daniel Arsham Genesis piece, which is 671. I still think it's like most established contemporary artists come over to NFTs, use the technology really, really well. I just see that being relevant for a long, long time. So I like thinking about that bottom funnel of the pyramid as just art. Like, as long as the demand outstrips the supply, it can be an addition of 671 if it's meaningful enough, and if it's sort of like a grand enough NFT to warrant it. That's my 2 cents. Just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, I think you're right. And what's cool too is like, in my mind, anything that has happened, in the past few years, and will continue to happen for maybe the next year or two, will go down as historic, if that makes sense. There's so many firsts that haven't happened yet that will happen, that in 10 or 20 years we'll look back and be like, and we're right in the middle of it. And I think we got another year or two left before it becomes so mainstream and so normalized that historic moments are very less likely to happen. But right now there are so many historic moments happening on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, that it's just really cool to be a part of that in real time, seeing it happen, maybe calling it before it happens, and all that. Also, real quick, speaking of one of ones, I just grabbed Eric Lee's Genesis piece on Nifty, or on Super Rare this week, and I got this signed print from him.
Ooh.
Congratulations! I saw that.
Beautiful.
I was like, that is a sick piece of art. Really nice.
And I feel like I found a diamond in the rough. It even has a backside, so I can flip it around if I get tired of it.
Cool.
Yeah, so really cool. I'm gonna be trying to collect some more 101s lately, and there's so many awesome, undervalued, in my opinion, artists who are doing really incredible work in the space right now on both Super Rare Foundation, Maker's Place, et cetera, et cetera.
There's an artwork Parrott coming out 7 p.m. tonight. It's called Blue Me.
Oh,
it's a one of one.
Is that the elephant
That's
in the room
slick.
that Odious is talking about?
Odious does say so. Elephant in the room. Yeah, who is tentatively waiting for the Defaced artifacts drop raises both hands. You're the best, Odious.
Oh.
Mind of Impact says, where did you say the infographic was? So shout out to Batsupium. I think it's BATSOU. Let me get the exact.
Mm-hmm.
BAT. Hold on.
Batsupium.
BATSOUPYUM. Bat soup yum. Is that what it is?
Let's
I
see if
never
I
put
can-
this. I never put two and two together before. Is it Bat soup yum?
Batsupium. Yeah, I just read it as like one word, like Batsupium. I'll share my screen really quick for that infographic too, since we were just talking about that.
Awesome.
I just found it. There we are.
Yeah.
So it
There it
talks about
is.
money, due diligence. Anyone can look at punks, board apes, et cetera, and you don't have to do that much research into the project because it's already been verified by the community as a whole, both with social scores and importance, and also with monetary value. It's very easy to see why CryptoPunks will stay valuable and be valuable for a long time. Generative art takes a little bit more due diligence to figure out, what has historic value and what doesn't. And then you go down to the one-of-one arts, which is basically a case-by-case basis, right? And the collector that buys that has to not only look, who the artist is, what their social presence is, what their history is, who their collectors are, what they have plans for the future. Are they here just for a cash grab, or are they here for the long run? And you have to do that each and every time for each and every artist. So it's a lot more, I guess, due diligence, per piece of art. But that's why I think it will become more valuable, because just as Gary Vee is like on the hunt searching for the next 2018 collectible project. I've seen him talking a lot about like trying to find these little diamonds that are out there. That same thing works with artists as well. And there's, in my opinion, way more opportunities to find that in one-on-one art right now, because it's still such an untapped market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. And also art is all over the place. Like whenever someone comes out with something that looks like Nifty Gateway's new marketplace, but aggregates the major platforms, I think it's going to be a big deal. Because I think then if you want to invest in, Xcopy is a bad example because Xcopy to the absolute mind melting moon. But let's even say like not someone who's considered like an OG, but part of like the top tier artists, like like Fuckrender, for example, right? Fuckrender's on Super Rare. He has some stuff unknown origin, a bunch of massive stuff on Nifty Gateway. He'll have stuff on Fuckrenderverse. Like it's all over the place. But when you have an aggregator that comes in that looks clean, looks tight, lays it all out really nicely for you so that you can clearly see this is like the overall number of one-of-ones or edition counts, and here's where you find them. Or maybe you don't even have to worry about where to find them because they're all just right there in front of you. But you can easily see like, oh, this is where these are all priced, and here's how the whole bigger picture comes together. I think that's actually one of the keys that can unlock institutional investing in potentially art NFTs. So for now, it's going to be restricted to like the OGs just because they're viewed as having the staying power. They haven't left. They're starting to get, a mass of collectors around them. There are more artworks because they've released over the course of years as opposed to recent history. But yeah, something to keep eyes on as the years pass.
Yeah, I think Sartoshi on Twitter has been talking a little bit about that lately, where like if Super Rare or Foundation or these other one-on-one marketplaces came out with a feature like OpenSeas where it displays the number of editions, the floor price, the number of owners, and the volume traded, it would really, really help, because it's so easy to, see those stats for a collection of 10,000 and say, okay, I know what the floor is. There's like a lot of owners. I know Maddie, DC Investor, has been talking a lot about like the number of owners and how important that is in a project, and the ability to see that is also important. It sure is. It sure is. And so yeah, it's like if that was available on a one-to-one basis per artist, I think it would take that the average collector who's familiar with even generative art or these collectible projects to be able to view an artist's one-on-ones as that artist's collection, which is really what it is.
Agreed. Well, guys, Defaced, spotlight back on you, sir. This is your night. You've been working your ass off, barely getting any time yourself. Hopefully this is one of those moments where you can, I don't know, it's going to be late over there, but just like sit back, maybe take a breath, maybe see some of the things that you've accomplished, and keep it trucking tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Well, it's always nervous, isn't it, when you have something drop? So I think that'll be tomorrow. But I think there's so much you can do, and it's just out of your hands. I think you'd never really finish a piece. I think you can just put it down. Like, I think, okay, that's good, and you can move on to the next project. Because especially if you're a perfectionist, you just keep going and going and going and going, and you just get sick of it. So I think, I'd take more time to just appreciate stuff. And I think that's a lot for the case for a lot of people in the NFT space, because it's just so fucking quick. And I remember talking to you like months ago about how quick the market was going, and just like anxiety, like with how just gonna, like, as when we're ramping up to that massive bubble, really. And I was just like, what the fuck, like, what's going on? But I've sort of calmed down so much more. I've been working on a longer term project, and I now don't care where the market's at. Like, it'll just, if the project's good and I enjoyed it, and that's all that matters to me now, and it'll drop when it's ready. You know what I mean? It's like, I think if we want to have we have to have that sort of thought process as well, like drop music whenever now. It's like, it's finished when it finishes, and taking back that control, which we can outsource to the community in Twitter and the online world, and it's an internal thing we can have control over. And it's just, I've been just trying to learn stuff as well, and just learn from people and listen. And last week I met up with some people for the first time, and who done NFTs, and that was a crazy experience, just being able to have face-to-face and talk and just share stuff other than NFTs, like, and appreciate the community for what it is, a group of people who like art and enjoy technology and stuff, and we're a group of like-minded people, and I think we have to take that into account as well. Like, there's so many, and just the resources at our hands. It's like, I was talking to someone the other day, and they're talking about my animated stuff, my like teaser I put out. They're like, oh yeah, I work in distribution and stuff. There's so many people with lives other than NFTs who can help and are willing to give advice and guidance, and have worked in fashion for 10 years or whatever. And there's a massive network which we're all just like-minded. Yeah, so I've just been trying to get myself out of just like the market recently, and that head, because I do at the fundamental stuff, and I think that's better for my sort of mental health over the long run, if I want to keep the longevity in a space, really. I don't know where that tangent went. I don't think that.
I think it's a hell of a perspective, though. I mean, it's like, I think that's an aspirational perspective, right? To be able to sort of separate yourself from the, like that gritting the teeth through it, and just kind of ease up and say, when it's done, it's done. Like, when it's ready, it's ready. It will come when it's time. Yeah, I think it's pretty powerful, man.
And I remember when you were talking about when you released Artifacts and the market started like dipping, and that fear of like, I really want it to sell out, yes, got to sell out straight away. But like, you go on some clothing brand sites and they're meant to be the hot shit, but their stuff hasn't sold out. Like, it's not the be all and end all. Like, it's there. It'll get picked up when it gets picked up. Do you know what I mean? It's like we put these we live in the fast lane in NFTs, and we can just fucking chill out, and the project, everything will grow naturally. And yeah, but we're in this like incubator really, where time's just fucking times 50, and money's getting fucking blown out of every fucking hole, and it's intense. But yeah, I think we need, and if we want to make better artwork and develop space further, we do need to step back. And it's like I'm talking to people who are developing projects, or talking to this one person who was taking me through their project. They'd been developing it for probably, they quit their job and have been developing it. The best fucking design team, the best fucking connections, and like they're going to build something big. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be hundreds of people who are doing the same shit. They're just taking their space. They're not in the space directly, but they're building behind the scenes. And they'll be introduced in a year, and we'll go, oh shit, that's what you've been doing, whilst everyone's fucking caught up in this fucking rat race almost for and flipping and day trading and the next fucking thing. And yeah, but yeah, that's just where my head's at really.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that a little bit last week, how there's just going to be, these huge teams of people doing such well executed projects that won't see the light of day for a year. But they're out there and they're working.
It's all coming. It's all coming.
Yeah.
It'll get sorted out.
Man, that's
all right,
crazy.
My dude. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
You got something else?
Just because I'm really excited for tonight.
Hell yeah.
And thank you, Roger. And thanks for hanging out, Parrott. It's always a pleasure. Sure. And I'm going to chase you for that collab you messaged me about a month ago. I haven't forgot.
Actually, I did not forget either. We need to get on a call and talk about that.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about it.
All right, cool. Give me a bell. You get that on the way, Roger. Bit of alpha. Oh shit!
I love it.
Oh fuck.
Defaced first artworks released to the NFT space in months. We've seen everything that you've been up to. I think I speak for everybody. We've been wildly impressed. Really excited. Blew me tonight. 5 ETH reserve 1 of 1. 3D artifact sculptures. 0.1 ETH. Super accessible. And go check out my new Twitter PFP for one of the components of the sculpture goodie bag that all collectors get access to. So that's the plug. Artifacts.art, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Parrott, love you. Faith, love you. Thanks to the community. ODS, you're the best.
I'll see you next week. We'll be back. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Over and out.